Well, the big question, how loud is too loud? Hello, everybody, and thank you very much for joining us on the night team. I'm Doug Proffitt. The crackdown on noise coming from Louisville bars late at night. Local musicians are now joining the loud voices against the new tough zero tolerance policy. WHAS 11 night team's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Aspen Hester are live in the Highlands right now, the neighborhood that really sparked this policy. Taylor, what'd you learn tonight?
Well, Doug, dozens of bar owners and musicians, they gathered together to push back against a new zero-tolerance noise policy. They say this policy affects them the most, and a $2,500 fine without a warning is not fair.
Stop punishing the masses for the crimes of a few.
That's how several bar owners and musicians are feeling due to the zero-tolerance noise policy. It's a no-warning, fine-only change. The policy penalizes businesses that serve alcohol for any unreasonably loud, harsh, or excessive noise that can be heard 50 feet away.
Inside the ordinance, they don't even reference a dB level, right? A noise level.
Matt Mercurio with the Musicians Emergency Resource Foundation, or MRF, says he could better understand the policy if there was a benchmark to be weighed against. All it takes is one noise complaint and owners are instantly hit with a hefty fine of $2,500.
Our fear is, as Sean has said, a disgruntled former patron gets upset and they call, and we're in trouble simply because somebody has an axe to grind.
This month, the Alcohol Beverage Control has cited 2 establishments for unreasonable noise. In a statement, ABC says, quote, "We know the majority of these business owners are respectful towards the neighbors around them. The people of Louisville deserve to live in safe neighborhoods with bars and restaurants that keep noise at a reasonable level." Bar owners and musicians gathered at a pizza place wanting Metro Council to get involved and rethink the penalties.
What was wrong with the rules that were in place the first time?
And by passing an ordinance like this, we are crushing something that is so beautiful.
They're hoping Metro Council members will come up with a healthier resolution.
The musicians, the bar owners, the club owners, they shouldn't be held responsible for the criminal issue that's taken place.
They say this policy is hurting their livelihood the most instead of patrons.
They're not out committing crimes. Let's take care of the crime. Let's not hurt the people that are working so hard just to pay their bills.
And tonight, Metro Council did pass an ordinance allocating $10,000 to help fund overtime to enforce this new zero-tolerance noise policy. That money comes from Districts 8 and 9, which includes the Highlands and Frankfort Avenue. Reporting live in Louisville, Taylor Woods, WHAS 11 night team on your side.
All right, Taylor, thank you very much for the update. Well, we've been telling you about it for weeks, and new tonight, there's now a ban on selling pets in stores in Metro Louisville. The Louisville Metro Council passed the ban tonight. It comes after accusations were leveled against Puppygram, that's a corporate pet store for selling sick animals. The legislation still permits local breeders to operate, but requires them to follow new rules like regular feeding schedules and medical care. Supporters say the ordinance is to support the welfare of the animals. However, business owners are concerned the ordinance will put their shops out of business, something that was addressed tonight during the council discussion.
There's a difference between regulating and banning. This is a ban, and I can't vote for a ban on a certain business type.
There's just too many people that just aren't doing the right thing, and these animals don't need to suffer. And the customers don't need to be pawns.
According to Louisville Metro Animal Services, 4 businesses are currently licensed in Louisville to sell dogs and cats. Another retail chain called Petland was set to open a shop here in Louisville, but told us they would no longer be opening here. Indiana State Police say they believe drugs may be a factor in a man's death after being handcuffed by Harrison County, Indiana Sheriff's deputies there this morning. An ISP spokesperson says the Sheriff's Department responded to a home in Corridon for reports of a man acting strangely on the back porch. Homeowners identified him as a previous resident of the home who wasn't supposed to be there. Deputies on the scene said the man was acting erratically. Police say the man collapsed from an apparent medical episode as deputies handcuffed him. The man died at the hospital. Police say doctors, quote, observed no apparent physical cause of death, end quote. The toxicology report is still pending, but in a news release from Indiana State Police, they say they believe drugs may be a factor in his death. We have requested body camera video of the incident, and we're waiting to receive it. After searching for hours, crews have found the wreckage of a small plane in western Kentucky that crashed as severe thunderstorms were moving through that area this time last night. The plane took off from Bowling Green last night, headed for Owensboro with 2 people on board, an instructor pilot and a student pilot. Last night, just before 11 o'clock, Evansville air traffic controllers reported the possible crash near Whitesville, Kentucky, 2 hours west of Louisville. Kentucky State Police said the storms were so strong they couldn't start their search until the weather cleared. 3 drones and an airplane were launched to the area, and searchers followed the pings coming from the pilot's cell phone to find the crash in Ohio County.
To get their pilot license, they have to do so many hours of nighttime flying, and that's what this was. We were able to see the course of travel from this plane. Maybe perhaps they saw the storms coming.
The Ohio County coroner identified the instructor as 22-year-old Timothy McKellar of Custer, Kentucky, and the student as 18-year-old Connor Quisenberry of Beaver Dam, Kentucky. Louisville Metro Police have made an arrest in connection with an August shooting after asking for the public's help on Facebook. Metro police officers arrested this man, Nicholas Ballinger, in connection with the shooting on South 4th Street near the U of L campus. Court documents say Ballinger forced a man down an alley at gunpoint around 9:30 that morning. Officers say the victim initially complied with Ballinger, but when he tried to take the gun away, investigators say Ballinger shot him. The victim was able to take himself to a nearby restaurant and call for help. Ballinger is charged with attempted murder and kidnapping and has a bond of $500,000. Well, new tonight, she is back home with a lot of love, but still tough recovery to come. The LMPD traffic guard who had part of her leg amputated after being hit by a semi-truck earlier this month was released from the hospital today. Gertrude Schaftline has been with LMPD for 48 years. Police say a man driving a semi hit her and then kept on going on the morning of September 6th while she was directing traffic at Wellington Elementary School. Now, a little over 3 weeks later, Metro Police posted this photo today of Schaftline leaving the hospital, surrounded by her fellow traffic guards and officers. She's now at home adjusting to her new lifestyle. The driver of the semi was caught and arrested. Well, for the first time ever, Kentuckians can legally make their wagers online. The new twist to betting comes just weeks after Kentucky legalized brick-and-mortar sports books. We have Connor Steffen and photojournalist Elijah McKenzie live tonight at the Fox Den on Frankfort Avenue, where business is already getting a boost. What have the crowds been like there tonight, Connor?
Well, Doug, in one word, they have been quite loud, quite excited for this day. And the first time in the history of Kentucky, it has never been easier to place bets on games. I want you to take a look at the screen right here. This right here is the NFL game that everyone here is watching tonight. To wager on this game, all it takes is a click of a button. It's an online launch.
It'll be huge, I think.
That has people pouring into brick and mortar stores.
But it's been a social gathering for people to do stuff.
On day one for online sports wagering.
Your money back.
These patrons are spending their Thursday night betting on and watching football at St. Matthew's Fox Den.
Of course I am. It's fun. It's fun. It's just, you know what, I don't like to bet a lot of money because I know I'm not going to make any money because you can't make money in gambling, but it's fun to do.
Others are spreading the word about online wagers.
I got my parents involved in it and downloaded and set them up on there with their deposits and all that.
The elephant in the room?
It was frustrating before. Indiana's taken a lot of our dollars out of Louisville, quite a bit, billions.
Frustration that it's taken Kentucky this long to legalize it. For dozens, Thursday marks the start of saving on gas and tolls, having to cross the bridges to place their bets, allowing them to put their dollars into Kentucky.
Indiana has stole our money from us for years and years and years. And anyway, we're excited though.
Some sports analysts are calling this launch the Black Friday of sports betting.
A lot of people are going to be setting up their accounts today. There's going to be a lot of traffic, a lot of bandwidth on these apps.
3 weeks after in-person betting launched, Kentucky has already raked in $4.5 million. The hope is that revenue may balloon to nearly $25 million by the end of the year.
It stands to reason that Kentucky will follow the national trend and have, a dominant online sports betting environment.
For local sports bars.
So I think it's going to help keep money in the city, in the state.
The hope is that betting success will rub off on business.
I mean, I can see that for sure on Sunday. Like, that's going to be the first full day of Sunday football with betting allowed. I mean, I can see people just holding up their phones and staring at the TV or sitting at the bar with a laptop,
As you could hear in that piece, some excited sports bettors here tonight at the Fox Den. Now, some of the sports analysts that we have spoken with said about 60,000 online betting accounts have already been registered here in Kentucky. They predict that number will balloon to hundreds of thousands here soon. We're live in St. Matthews. Connor Steff and the WHAS 1119 on your side.